You mean the car got towed at the hospital? How did the car get towed at the hospital? Yeah, I got towed at the hospital. I said, what side of the hospital were you on? He was right there on the right-hand side of the street, and they came in and told you. See, certain places, you just don't tow vehicles. You don't tow vehicles at the hospital because I could be having a baby, and you towing my car. Ticket the vehicle and leave it at that. Just to tow a vehicle and to not be ticketed, something's fucked up with that. So I know city council can do some things. So I asked somebody, well, who's the city council for the Green Street area? Oh, so-and-so Mosby. I said, okay, let me call so-and-so Mosby. Never heard of him before. Talk to him. I said, can you call the tow truck yard? Because DPW answers the city council. I said, can you call the tow truck yard, tell them a friend was towed and we'd like to have them return the vehicle? And he tells me, well, you know, my hands are tied and really nothing I can do, because I'm a working man just like you. I've had my car towed before, and they don't give my car back. And, I don't think I had the power to call them and tell them to tow your car back either. And our first thing, and while he was talking, I just blanked out because I literally said, I'm talking to a fucking idiot. A stupid ass, in fact. You're telling me that you're a city council member, and you're telling me the DPW, you don't have no authority to tell them. I had Carl Stokes was a council member I was under when I lived on a certain side of town. Then I had Helen Halton, which really didn't help. Had Conway when I moved to another part of town. And the city council people did do a job. You say, I got a pothole in front of my door. DPW came and filled that pothole in front of your door. You're the taxpayer. And if I'm a member of the clergy and I park my car somewhere and you tow my vehicle, not only are you going to untow my vehicle, you're going to buy me a goddamn new one. Well, my name ain't what it is. Out of all the vehicles to tow, you're going to tow from a hospital? That's the thing that didn't make sense. Something like that, you give it a warning. You don't know what the situation was. It could have been a good Samaritan who brought a shooting victim to the hospital, and you tow his car or her car. You're full of shit. And now not only are you full of shit, you're incompetent, incapable of anything anybody needs to do. You're running for office, can't pay your taxes, can't keep your bills paid, can't satisfy your wife apparently, and now you're city council talking about how good you're going to be for the state. You're going to be good, all right, good and goddamn. So that's what we're going to be. Now, as far as the mayor being a liar, I'm just stating the fact. Did he not say he's pressing charges because he went to the valley and some boy pushed him and got the city, get the city chief of police on the team? We're going to open up a formal investigation and find out what had happened to put the charges on the young man. First of all, you made a false report, so you should have been locked up. Because if I make a false report, I get locked up. So you should have been locked up for making a false report. And not only did you report it to the police, you reported it to the chief of police. Just not a nobody, the top cop. And the top cop didn't do shit. Didn't do no charges, didn't come back and say we apologize, didn't come back and say nothing. In fact, you say you're going to apologize.
Story.
Then they go back and see the video camera and see you pushing the boy. Boy should have knocked your damn lights out, knocked you straight, Then we wouldn't be hearing about, he got all the gay rights, he got all the gay this. So what? We've had gay mayors before. I don't know what it is about black people. When black people are gay, it turns into a circus. Like, did you hear about RuPaul been gay for years? Nobody gives him no fireworks. Oh, RuPaul gay? What? I've never seen it. And I respect RuPaul because he's not that type of proverbial, I don't want to say the word faggot, but he's not the faggot. This is something he does for a living. He understands the difference between reality and people who got these mental psychopathic issues, or I should say psychological issues. who think that they're supposed to wear drag 24/7 and live like that as a woman. I had a neighbor, well, my uncle had a neighbor on Monroe Street who would sit on the porch with some fur boa and a hairy chest and talk about he's a lady. I said, what the hell is wrong with people? Don't talk to me, I'm a lady. What? Shut up. Then you got all these men talking about, oh, I want to be a woman. You got all these women saying, oh, I want to be a man. I want to be rich. You don't see me going around there faking no bank account. It's even gone to the fact of where they say if a 3-year-old or a 6-year-old child, boy, says I'm a girl, then the boy is a girl. And you're supposed to raise him as a girl. That's called child abuse. Something has gone mad and wrong in the world where people have forgotten what it means to be a parent. People have, and what has happened is this: if you pay close attention, people are slowly wiping the church off the face of the earth. You don't hear too much about Kirk Franklin or these gospel singers, not no more. You hear more about them doing reality shows. Kirk Franklin on something called They Call Me Daddy. I don't want to see it. Stop liking Kirk Franklin after he fell and hit his head. And I think he's suffering from a concussion because that's when he started getting all this rap shit and all of this pornography and gay shit, and I just can't have it. What grown man goes around? It's just a lot of foolishness in the Christian church, and this is why you can't get people to come to salvation, because they look at what these fake people do and think that's what it's all about. And they say, oh, I don't want to be a hypocrite, so I'll stay here and be an atheist, or I'll stay here and be a sinner. I said, I don't want to be around no hypocrite. Or they might even look at me and say, oh, well, he cussed like a sailor, so how is he saved? My salvation is between me and God. There's a difference between a Baptist believer and an unbaptized believer. The Baptist believer believes you must maintain your salvation. That's what I believe. I believe salvation is to be maintained. Everybody else, especially white people and Southerners, believe once saved, always saved. I don't believe in that. How can you be saved and be always saved? There's no such way. I'm saved today. I done raped my daughter, and I'm still going to heaven? Of course not. So I done committed murder yesterday. I got saved today. Killed somebody tomorrow. Am I still saved and still forgiven for my sins? Of course not. And if you read, I don't want to turn this into a Bible lesson, but if you read, it says faith without works is dead. So you have to work to maintain your salvation. Not guaranteed. Like I said, heaven is a prepared place for prepared people. If you're not prepared because you did not maintain, then of course you cannot go. They had a movie called Left Behind. Wasn't the pastor left behind? He was preparing the people for the people to be ready, and he was left behind. So, I don't know what to tell you. The whole airline disappeared. Had like 6 or 7 passengers left. The so-called rapture. All that was left was the shoes and clothes. You know, this was somebody's idea of what the rapture would look like. I have a different idea, but I can't share it with you all because it would frighten you more than what I said last week about Jesus floating up in the sky. I've been getting phone calls and emails about that shit. Oh, I've never seen it interpreted that way. Oh, it makes me see the Bible in a whole new light. Oh, I have nightmares. I'm scared to go to sleep. Well, if the Bible didn't give you nightmares before, then the Bible wasn't being read properly, because it should be a book of horror to scare you straight so you know the consequences of your actions. To hear about angels throwing fire and brimstone from the heavens to the earth, everything in the Bible is proof, but people don't want to listen. They sit there and say, man told me, he said, I will eat my wife's ass if you show me some proof of some angels throwing stones from heaven. I said, go to Mecca,
what?
over by Saudi Arabia. There's a big, gigantic stone covered in a curtain called the Kaaba, which means, and the rock was thrown from heaven. It is not a meteorite. The makeup of the rock is inconclusive. It's a material that is not only waterproof, it cannot be cut, it cannot be scarred, it does not damage the earth. It made a crater in the ground. It is also fireproof. People have tried to burn it. It is non-magnetic. People have tried to attach things to it. Drill an eye bolt to it so it can be pulled with a chain. It's impenetrable. So what material is there on earth like that? None. So it's either from the future, which I can go along with that as well, but it still came from the heavens. Julia Child, Shirley Caesar sang a song, I'm looking for the stone that threw down the mountain. There's a stone called the Kaaba. So he looked it up, he did the research. I didn't hear about him eating his wife's ass, so I guess he's a liar too. But another guy tells me, the Bible talks about a lake of fire, atheist. The Bible talks about a lake of fire. There's no such thing as a lake of fire. How can a lake be on fire? Didn't you just see the Gulf on fire when they had an oil spill? No, that's oil burning. That's not a lake of fire. I said, okay. But when you go to Hawaii or go to Mount Vesuvius, there's this thing called a volcano. And out of that volcano comes this red stuff called lava, translates into lake of fire. And then he says to me, oh, yeah, I forgot. How can you forget? That's a lake of fire. It flows like water. It's extremely hot. It's bubbly. And it's fire. Within 6 or 8 feet of it, burns and catches on fire. There was a video of a guy in the house who had lava coming to his backyard. And even from his backyard, it was melting the candles in his house. That's how hot the lava was. Through the window from his backyard on video camera. And I thought, for certain, I said, this guy must be white, because only a white person would sit in the house sweating their ass off with lava in the backyard and putting it on camera just for documentation purposes. Rather than saying, get out of here, we got to go. And if something that minute, meaning very, very small, can heat up your whole house and make the candles liquefy in your home, imagine what hell would be like. Oh, I don't believe in hell. The Bible says